let's get started. I know you love Friends. I love Friends. And I know you've always wanted to watch it in English. Just the first episode alone has 22 phrasal verbs and tons of other expressions and phrases that we will talk about today. To watch full episodes, go to HBO Max. All of the episodes are available there for streaming. Okay, let's start with the theme song.
I'll be there for you.
I'll be there for you. It's pretty much the same in Spanish. I, as a friend, will always be by your side. Let's talk about the episode titles. The pilot episode is called The One Where Monica Gets a Roommate. All of the episodes are called The One Where. Here are some more examples. The one with the sonogram at the end. The one at the beach. The one with the thumb. You can use the one followed by a preposition or a relative pronoun. Here's another example. Can you pass me a pen? The one that is red.
Just some guy I work with.
Come on. You're going out with the guy. There's got to be something wrong with him.
We have our first phrasal verb, to go out with. Go out in general can just be leaving your house, going to a restaurant. But in this context where you're saying you're going out with a person, normally it's something romantic. Did you know that Jennifer Aniston used to go out with Brad Pitt?
Because I don't want her to go through what I went through with Carl.
Now we have go through with. Through as a preposition is a través. So if you go through something, you live through an experience. It's implied that it's something difficult. So Phoebe says, I don't want her to go through what I went through with Paul. So we can understand that she went through something that was difficult with this guy.
So I'm back in high school. I'm standing in the middle of the cafeteria.
Back in high school. This is a way of speaking where you can kind of put yourself in a particular setting in the past. Back when I was in university. Back when I was a kid, and so on. You might have heard your parents say, back when I was a kid, we didn't have all this internet that you guys do now.
All of a sudden, the phone starts to ring. And it turns out it's my mother.
It turns out. This is a phrasal verb you use when you want to say that something resultó in a particular way, that something ended in a way that you did not predict or plan for. The weather forecast said it would be raining today, but turns out it's a beautiful sunny day. By the way, if you go to my website after watching this video, I've got a quiz with all of the phrasal verbs and expressions that we talked about, and there's a list up there for you as well if you want to take a look afterwards.
Hi.
This guy says hello, I want to kill myself.
Throughout this episode, they're going to say the word guy a lot. Throughout every episode, honestly, guy is a really commonly used word. Guy in Spanish is something similar to tío, chaval, bro. If you're talking to a group of people, you could say guys, and that can be girls and boys. But if I say, hey, look at that guy over there, when you turn around, you're expecting to see a male.
Carol moved her stuff out today.
To move out is to move from a place where you're living to another place and live there instead. So Ross's ex-wife has moved her stuff out. That implies that she already wasn't living with him, but now she came and got her decoration and her sofa.
To hell with her, she left me.
To hell with her. If you say to hell with her, you're saying something similar to what you would say in Spanish. Al infierno, al diablo, like, I don't care about that thing anymore.
You never knew she was a lesbian.
No, okay? Why does everyone keep fixating on that?
The verb keep is a weird one. It can be to keep doing something, as in to continue. I'm trying to watch TV, but you keep talking. You continue talking. You won't stop. It can also be to guardar something. I keep my headphones in my bag. And it can be to guardar something for a long amount of time. My phone is broken, but it still works, so I'm going to keep it.
Sometimes I wish I was a lesbian. Did I say that out loud?
Okay, we have our first grammar point, the wish structure. In other languages, like in Spanish, you have something called the subjunctive tense. This allows you to tell the other person that what you're saying is not true, it's hypothetical, and so on. For example, if I say, ojalá que tuviera pelo azul. Just from that sentence, without having seen me, you know that I don't have blue hair. You know that I'm saying something hypothetical. So in English, we don't exactly have the subjunctive tense, but we can kind of make it. We can combine words like if, I wish, if only, with the past tense. So if you hear if, wish with the past tense, you know that this idea is hypothetical. You all know the Beyonce song, If I Were a Boy. If you didn't know who Beyonce was, from that song title, you would know that she's not a boy. Here is another example. I wish I were stronger. I wish I lived in a nicer place. I wish I lived in Norway. Okay, so at different points in this video, just to test how well you're understanding everything, I'm going to add in a quiz. So here is quiz number 1.
You're feeling a lot of pain right now. You're angry. You're hurting. Can I tell you what the answer is? Strip joints!
First of all, if you don't know much about these characters, it's important to know that Joey is supposed to be a bit of a player. Okay, so his suggestion to get over a breakup is strip joints. Strip is referring to a place where you go to see strippers, like take off their clothes. But joint is mostly an American slang term to talk about a place, a business. For example, hey, are you hungry? Do you want to get lunch? There's a taco joint down the road. But it's not necessary to use this. You can just say restaurant or place or whatever.
But I don't want to be single, okay? I just want to be married again.
Ross says, I just wanna be married again. Wanna, what do you think it means? It's want to. This is a really common thing that English speakers do when they're talking. We like to save time. We like to join words together to save time. So just wanna is I just want to. But just as a word has more than one use as well. In this case, I just want to be married again. It's solo quiero esta cosa. But in this scene, Rachel says she just went to Monica's building. In this case, just is more like the Spanish justo. Justo ahora he hecho algo. Justo acabo de hacer algo. Okay, so let's see if you know the difference. Here's a quiz.
And I just won $1 million.
Super quick, because Rachel is literally in a bridal gown. Let's go over some wedding vocabulary. The woman getting married is the bride. The man getting married is the groom. Monica says later, are we expecting 4 wet bridesmaids? Bridesmaids are the group of girls that a bride would have with her on the wedding day, and the groom has something similar called groomsmen.
Started about a half hour before the wedding. I was in this room where we were keeping all the presents, and I was looking at this gravy boat. This really gorgeous Limoges gravy boat.
So Rachel was looking at a gravy boat. This is a gravy boat, and this is gravy. It's a type of sauce that you pour over meat and vegetables, typical English cuisine.
When all of a sudden, sweet and low, I realized that I was more turned on by this gravy boat than by Barry.
She says, all of a sudden means suddenly. De repente. It would be used at the start of a sentence. All of a sudden, I heard a loud noise. Bang! Rachel says that the gravy boat turned her on more than Barry. To turn on, you know, is encender. However, just like prender can be used in Spanish to refer to exciting someone sexually, turn on is the same. So Rachel says this turned her on more than her groom.
And I got really freaked out, and that's when it hit me how much Barry looks like Mr. Potato Head. You know, I mean, I always knew he looked familiar, but...
She said she freaks out. To freak out is to have like a strong reaction because you're scared, you're excited, you're panicking. It can be good or bad. In her case, she's freaking out because she's realizing she's not attracted to her group, that she doesn't even like him, and that's why she ends up running away.
And I got really freaked out, and that's when it hit me how much Barry looks like Mr. Potato Head.
It hit me. So hit is, of course, hit. But if something hits you, it hit me, you're saying the realization came to me all of a sudden. I got a realization. She says Barry looks like Mr. Potato Head.
Anyway, I just had to get out of there, and I started wondering, why am I doing this, and who am I doing this for? So anyway, I just didn't know where to go, and I know that you and I have kind of drifted apart, but You're the only person I knew who lived here in a city.
She said she was wondering. Wondering is like thinking, you're thinking about a certain thing with curiosity. I wonder why the sky is blue. Drift apart. So drift is this. Apart is a preposition that shows that two or more things are getting more and more distance between them. So if two things are drifting apart, they're growing in distance. It's very normal that after you leave school, you stop staying in touch with certain friends, you drift apart.
Right, I'm guessing that he bought her the big pipe organ and she's really not happy about it.
Daddy, it's my life. Well, maybe I'll just stay here with Monica.
Well, I guess we've established she's staying here with Monica.
Guess means adivinar, but we also use it to say something similar to supongo que. Monica says, I'm guessing she's staying with Monica. So you're saying that you don't really know, but you assume. She hasn't arrived yet. I guess there's a lot of traffic.
Daddy, I can't marry him. I'm sorry. I just don't love him.
Rachel says, I just don't love him. Here's a quiz.
She should not be wearing those pants.
Okay, super important here. Pants in American English are trousers. Jeans, trousers, all of that. But pants in British English is what you wear under your trousers. It's underwear. In England, instead, for jeans and all those things, we just say trousers. So just be really careful if you're speaking to a British person and you say, oh, I spilled something on my pants.
It's like all of my life, everyone has always told me, you're a shoe. You're a shoe, you're a shoe, you're a shoe. And then today I just stopped and I said, what if I don't want to be a shoe? What if I want to be a purse, or a hat?
A purse is this. It's a woman's bag. Other types of bags are, for example, a wallet that would go in a purse, luggage and suitcases that you take with you to an airport, and a rucksack that you would take with you to school, to work. I want to be a purse. What does wanna mean? It's I want to be a purse.
No, I don't want you to buy me a hat. I'm saying that I am a hat. It's a metaphor, Daddy.
You can see where you'd have trouble.
Ross says, you can understand where you'd have trouble. So if you have trouble, te cuesta algo. It can also just mean problems. He is in trouble. In this case, though, Rachel's dad is having trouble understanding what she's talking about.
Calm things.
Raindrops on roses and kittens, doorbells and sleigh bells and something with mittens, la la la, something with string.
I'm all better now. I helped.
Okay, so this song is called My Favorite Things from the movie The Sound of Music. I'm all better now. That's a phrase you can use to say that you have completely recovered from something. The all is to say completely.
Hey, you need anything, you can always come to Joey. Me and Chandler live right across the hall, and he's away a lot.
They live across the hall. Across is on the other side. So if I live across from a school, it means opposite my house, there's a school. In this case, Ross and Chandler's apartment is opposite Monica's apartment. It's across the hall. Hall, by the way, is pasillo, corredor.
It's Paul.
Buzz him in.
It's Paul. If you're talking to someone on the phone or ringing the doorbell, you would often use it's to introduce yourself, to say who it is. Hi, it's Coach Boo. Buzz is onomatopoeia, like the sound a bee makes, buzz. But it's also the sound that the machine makes when you press the button to open the door in an apartment building. So from that, we have the phrasal verb to buzz someone in, meaning to press the button to let them inside.
Who's Paul?
Paul the wine guy, Paul?
Maybe.
Wait a minute, you're not a real date tonight is with Paul the wine guy?
He finally asked you out?
Yes.
Oh, this is a Dear Diary moment.
Okay, we already saw the phrasal verb to go out with someone, meaning that you're seeing them romantically, you're spending time with them romantically. So in a similar way, to ask someone out is to start that process. Ask them, invite them if they'd like to go out with you.
Ross, are you okay? I mean, do you want me to stay?
That'd be good. No, go on. It's Paul the wine guy.
That'd be good. The d in that'd is short for would in this context. However, apostrophe D can mean would, could, should, had. From context is how you know which one it is. In this case, that'd be good. He puts that be. The only thing that could work with be in this way is would. So here we have our grammar point number 2, would structure. So let's take a look at basic verb forms. If I say to do, I'm saying hacer. This is the verb in the infinitive form. I'm not changing it. There's nothing going on, just as it is. But if I want to show that this action is going to happen in the future, then I could say will do. Haré. The modification in Spanish comes by adding something to the end of the verb. In English instead, we're adding the word will. So if I wanted to say haría, what would you do? You would add would do. Would before any other verb would add this ia at the end. The exceptions are should, which is specifically for debería, and could, which is specifically for podría. I would love to be a firefighter. I would never eat octopus. I would like to have a coffee with oat milk, please. I would go to the cinema to watch that movie with you. I would prefer to make food at home. It's much healthier.
Paul, this is everybody. Everybody, this is Paul.
Hey,
the wine guy. Wine guy.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name. Paul, was it?
So Chandler makes a joke here saying, oh, I didn't catch your name. If you catch something, you're like catching a ball, for example. But you can also use it to say that you heard something or didn't hear something. If someone introduces themselves, oh, sorry, I didn't catch your name. Can you say that again? And he says, I didn't catch your name. Paul, was it? The was it is like Paul era. It's to confirm what it was.
So Rachel, what are you up to tonight?
What are you up to? It's similar to saying, what's up? You know what that means, right? ¿Qué pasa? What's up? Actually, the application WhatsApp gets its name from the phrase, what's up? ¿Qué pasa? So if you say, what are you up to? You're kind of expanding on the what's up, ¿qué pasa idea. You're like, what are you doing today?
Well, I was kind of supposed to be headed for Aruba on my honeymoon, so nothing.
Rachel said she was supposed to be headed for Aruba on her honeymoon, which of course is not cancelled. To head somewhere is to be on your way to a certain place. She was supposed to be headed for on her way to Aruba. You could say, okay, it's 3 o'clock, I'm heading out, meaning I'm leaving. Hey, do you want a lift? I'm heading to the airport today.
Anyway, if you don't feel like being alone tonight, Joey and Chandler are coming over to help me put together my new furniture.
Ross invites Joey and Chandler to come over. If you tell someone, come over, it implies that they will come to your house. You don't need to specify, come to my house. You can just say, hey, come over for dinner today. Put together is juntar in general. So if you buy a table from IKEA like I did, you have to put it together yourself. You have to assemble it yourself.
Well, actually, thanks, but I think I'm just going to hang out here tonight. It's been a long day.
Oh, sure, okay, sure.
Hang out. Hang out is a really common thing to say because it means quedar con. I hang out with my friends every Saturday.
Hey, Phoebes, you want to help?
Oh, I wish I could, but I don't want to.
I wish I could. Here's a quiz.
I'm supposed to attach a brackety thing to the side things using a bunch of these little worm guys.
Bracket is this, but he says brackety thing. When you don't really know what you're talking about, like you don't know specifically what this item is, you can use thing to refer to una cosa que no sé. But then you can also use y after any word to turn it into an adjective, to say it's kind of like this. So if I say, this bottle is purpley, right? Because it is purple, but it's not exactly purple. It's kind of purple, purpley. So something that's brackety is something like a bracket, but it's not a bracket. It's like a bracket.
Ross, let me ask you a question. She got the furniture, the stereo, the good TV. What did you get?
You guys.
Oh, God. You got screwed.
Oh, my God.
Joey says, you got screwed. Screw is this item, but in this context, especially in American slang, screw is kind of like, if I say, screw you, it's kind of like saying you. So if you say, you got screwed, it's like saying, te jodieron.
My brother's going through that right now. He's such a mess. How did you get through it?
He's such a mess. Mess es un desastre. You can talk about a physical space as being a mess. Oh, my house is such a mess. But you can also say a person is a mess because they are emotionally a mess. How do you get through it? This is similar to what we saw with Phoebe saying, go through it before. So to go through something is to live through a difficult experience. So to get through a difficult experience would be to come out on the other side. So Monica asks, how do you get through it? ¿Cómo lo superaste?
But it isn't. It isn't. It's about me. And I did... Hi, machine cut me off again. Anyway.
Cut off. It's a phrasal verb. If you cut someone off when they're talking, you interrupt them and you start talking instead. In this case, she's saying the machine cut her off, meaning the voicemail machine. Gonna. What do you think gonna means? Going to. It's another one of these wanna, gonna things where we're squishing words together. Como coger algo fuerte, agarrar fuerte. Joey is using ice cream to tell Ross that, well, you know, it didn't work with this woman, so now you have the opportunity to try again with a different woman. There are many flavors of ice cream. That's why he's saying, grab a spoon, take the opportunity to try a different flavor of ice cream.
I honestly don't know if I'm hungry or horny.
And stay out of my freezer.
So, horny is a slang way of talking about being turned on. If you remember turned on from earlier in the video, if you are turned on, you are feeling horny.
What? What? You want to spell it out with noodles?
No, it's more of a fifth date kind of revelation.
Oh, so there's going to be a fifth date?
Spell out is a phrasal verb to say deletrear.
Grab a spoon. Do you know how long it's been since I've grabbed a spoon? Do the words, Billy, don't be a hero mean anything to you?
Here we have the word grab again, quiz.
Even if I could get it together enough to, to ask a woman out, who am I going to ask?
Get it together. If you need to get it together, te tienes que poner las pilas. Like you need to sort yourself out. Come on.
Isn't this amazing? I mean, I have never made coffee before in my entire life.
That is amazing.
Congratulations. While you're on a roll, if you feel like you got to make like a Western omelet or something.
Joey tells Rachel if she's on a roll, she should make a bunch of breakfast. Rolling es rodar. So if you are on a roll, you have momentum. You're doing this action. You don't need to stop. So she's making breakfast. So, well, she's on a roll. She's making coffee. She'll make this. She'll make pancakes, etc. For example, if I'm studying and I'm really focused, I'm doing so much work, it's going really well, I could say, I'm on a roll. I don't want to take a break right now.
Thank you.
That wasn't a real date. What the hell do you do on a real date?
What the hell do you do on a first date? What the hell is a good option if you want to say what the but not swear.
So, like, you guys all have jobs?
Yeah, we all have jobs. See, that's how we buy stuff.
Notice how she uses the word like. Like is a really common filler word in English. It's a word that you use when you have a space between what you're saying and don't really have anything to say there. So you just put in like. I say all the time. You don't have to start saying it when you're speaking English, but you might start noticing it when you're speaking to other people or watching TV.
Yeah, I'm an actor.
Wow. Would I have seen you in anything?
Oh, I doubt it. Mostly regional work.
Okay, unless you happen to catch the Wee Ones production of Pinocchio.
Monica says catch. In this case, she's not again saying catch like catch a ball. She's talking about catching a movie, meaning getting the opportunity to go to the cinema to watch a particular movie. You have to remember there was a time when in order to catch a movie, you had to buy a cinema ticket before they stopped showing the movie in cinemas. But the expression is still used nowadays, even though we have Netflix.
Yo.
Look, Geppetto, I'm a real live boy.
I will not take this abuse.
You're right, I'm sorry. Once I was a wooden boy, a little wooden boy.
I will not take this abuse, he says. So I will not take this is like, I'm not going to accept this. I'm not going to just accept this treatment. So another example, if someone insults you, your friend could say, are you just going to take that? No, go punch him. Hopefully your friends don't say that to you.
Oh, wish me luck. What for? I'm gonna go get one of those job things.
Wish me luck is the thing you would say when you want someone to wish you luck. Job things. She's using things like this, again, to show she doesn't know what this job idea, this job concept is. If I, for some reason, didn't know what headphones were, I could say, oh, can you give me one of those headphone things? And from that, you know that I don't know what that is, really.
You mean you know Paul like I know Paul?
Are you kidding? I take credit for Paul. You know, before me, there was no snapping his turtle for 2 years.
Are you kidding? To kid is to make a joke. So if you're saying like, are you serious? You can say, are you kidding? Is this a joke? Snap in his turtle. This I actually had to look up. This is a really old expression. Young people don't say this anymore, so don't worry about remembering it. But just so you know, snap in his turtle is to say that a male can perform in bed.
Of course it was a line.
Of course it was a line. So a line is something that a guy says to a girl, in this context anyway. A line is something a guy would say to a girl to convince her to go out with him, to spend time with him romantically. Something else you might have heard is pick up lines. So pick up is literally like, pick up. But picking up a person in this romantic way is to do a good job at flirting so that they give you their number or agree to go out with you. So in that context, people often use pick-up lines.
Hey, why would anybody do something like that?
I assume we're looking for an answer more sophisticated than to get you into bed.
To get you into bed, in this case. To get you to do something, to get someone to do something is to convince them. I'm going to get my mum to pick me up from the airport. I'm going to convince my mum to pick me up from the airport.
You got a job?
Are you kidding? I'm trained for nothing.
Are you kidding? Quiz.
I was laughed out of 12 interviews today.
And yet you're surprisingly upbeat.
Well,
Upbeat. Upbeat is something like this. If something is upbeat, it has a fast, energetic rhythm. So if a person is upbeat, they are also bubbly, energetic, positive.
How'd you pay for them?
credit card.
And who pays for that?
My father.
What do you think the j part is? It's did. How did you?
You can't live off your parents your whole life.
I know that. That's why I was getting married.
Live off of. To live off something es vivir de eso. So I live off of my job. Before this first episode of Friends, Rachel lived off of her dad.
Give her a break. It's hard being on your own for the first time.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I remember when I first came to this city.
Give her a break, it's hard being on your own. So to give someone a break, break es descanso. To give someone a break It's like, déjala en paz. Like, stop pressuring her. In this context, stop pressuring her. It's hard to suddenly be independent when you used to live off of your dad.
I got here and I didn't know anybody. And I ended up living with this albino guy.
End up is a phrasal verb. So to end up in a situation is to suddenly find yourself in an unexpected end result. At the end of the movie, the main character ended up becoming the villain. Well, the restaurant I wanted to go to was closed. So we ended up finding another really good restaurant down the road.
Then I found aromatherapy. So believe me, I know exactly how you feel.
The word you're looking for is... anyway.
Anyway. So anyway is de todas formas, but it's used a lot in English to, like, in this context, change the subject. So anyway, in that tone.
Welcome to the real world. It sucks. You're gonna love it.
It sucks. Sucks es chupar, like if you're using a straw, you have to suck your Coca-Cola. But if you say, oh, life sucks, it sucks, you're saying like, this is bad, it's the worst. That movie that came out last week, oh, it sucks. It's so bad. The acting is terrible. The story is really bad. A lot of people seem to think that Friends sucks as well. I disagree.
You wanna crash on the couch?
No, I gotta go home sometime.
Crash on the couch. Crash usually is a really loud sound. So if cars hit each other, they crash. If everything on my table fell down on the floor, it would crash. However, to crash on someone's couch is an expression used to say that you're going to spend the night sleeping on someone's sofa. Remember, couch in America is sofa. It implies that you are temporarily going to use their sofa as a bed. So Monica asks, do you want to crash on the couch? Because Ross is going through a separation.
Oh, no.
Sorry.
Oh, no, go.
Really, I don't want to.
Split it?
Okay.
Split it. If you split something, lo partes. So he says, let's split it. Lo partemos. We share half and half.
You probably didn't know this, but back in high school, I had a major crush on you.
Back in high school, we have again back in. Here's a quiz. So Ross admits he used to have a crush on Rachel. Crush es aplastar, but if you have a crush on someone, you're saying that you'd like them romantically. It's used most commonly in the context of kids and teenagers. So an adult wouldn't necessarily say they have a crush because it sounds a bit juvenile and cute. But you could. If an adult said they had a crush, it just wouldn't be super serious. They just find someone attractive.
I always figured you just thought I was Monica's geeky older brother.
I did.
Oh.
Okay, this is really important. There is a big difference between how in Spanish you say freaky, soy freaky, versus how geek and nerd are used in English. So in American English slang, a freak es un rarito, como someone in school who no one likes, who's really strange. And then geek is more like someone who's really into comic books and superhero movies and manga. And then a nerd is someone who's really smart, who gets really good grades, who loves studying, who's really good at maths and science. Now, these things can be used interchangeably too. However, that distinction does exist. So if you're someone who really likes science, you would say, I'm a huge nerd. I love physics. If you're someone who really likes Marvel movies, you would say, I'm a massive geek. And if you're someone who thinks you're really strange, abnormal, I'm a freak. So just be careful because I know in Spanish you use freaky to say more like geeky, nerdy. If you watched American Horror Story, you may remember the season called Freak Show. A freak show is a part of the circus where they used to have people who they thought were freaks. So people, unfortunately, with deformities, and they would show them as if they are freaks.
Listen, do you think, and try not to let my intense vulnerability become any kind of a factor here, but do you think it would be okay if I asked you out sometime, maybe?
Yeah.
Maybe.
We've got ask out, quiz.
See ya.
See ya. It's a really common way to say bye, like similar to Spanish, you would say hasta luego. Like you don't say the full hasta luego. Hasta luego. You could also just go, see ya.
Wait. Hey, what's with you?
I just grabbed a spoon.
What's with you? It's like saying like, ¿qué pasa con esto? And you can specify on how they're behaving. What's with you? What's going on? What's with you? Why are you acting like that?
What? I said you had I said you had... Would you stop? Oh, was I doing it again?
Yes.
Would anybody like more coffee?
We have 2 more uses of would. Would you stop? So you know that would with any verb is ia. ¿Pararías? But in English, you can use this type of structure to request something of someone. Would you stop? Would you stop? You're making too much noise. Would you stop? And later Rachel says, would anybody like more coffee? This is the regular use of would. Would anybody like some coffee? Okay, so that was the last C. I hope you found this video useful. Now, it's really important to review. You can't just see these things once and move on. However, in all of the next few episodes of Friends, most of these will come up again. So, subscribe to see more videos like this. We'll be watching more episodes together very soon. If you want to revise, on my website I have a quiz and a list of everything we talked about today. So go ahead, click on the link in my description if you'd like to take a look at that. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day. Bye.